For my first project, I thought about what I had around my home studio. I've done a lot of work with resin, but it's only been research and nothing has been a final product. So, what I did is I went back to the resin work that I've done and I was inspired off of the water pieces that Andy Goldsworthy did. I did research on how to dye the resin, how to layer it, and I began mixing small layers and building that up after the layers cured. In some layers, I would add dots of white dye. I would use a straw or a stick to kind of blur that in to create this water texture. This technique comes from the constant research that I do on materials. So make sure you're researching materials or techniques to help you with your project. After I've added all the layers, I added a leaf, and this was inspired off of Andy Goldsworthy's blanket leaf that he had floating in the water. Instead of sewing a big blanket of leaves, I just chose to use one leaf from my plants, which reminds me of home. This piece is representational of the water from Hawaii to the plants that grow on the mountainside, but I'm using artificial materials for the most part. My second project was based off that holes image, and I thought about supplies that you might have in your desk or around your house. I love Elmer's glue. I remember playing with it when I was in elementary school, so I decided to make glue dots. I researched how long these dots would dry, and the research showed that it would take about 6 hours. Well, these glue dots took about 24 hours or more to dry. So, time is a material. Remember that. It will take time for things to dry, for things to get built. My original sketch had toothpicks, but as I was playing with my glue dots, I thought the toothpicks, they're brown. I would like something that's more white. So I thought of Q-tips. So I cut the Q-tips. They're all different sizes, so that's why as I'm building, everything starts to become slanted. And then I had this extra material, which was the end of the Q-tips. And I thought back to Andy Goldsworthy. His work deals with tension. So I decided to create that visual tension within my box. As I was building in my box, I reacted to the materials. I placed things in my box before I glued them down to see how they would look. And as you can see, I have a lot of extra materials. Make sure you are making a lot more pieces than you think you'll actually need.